Morning, day 3. Crystal clear blue skies, 45 degrees. Gorgeous morning. Nice clear views of Ruapehu from the hut, although we learned yesterday that the morning weather isn't a good indicator for the rest of the day. Today we're heading from Mangaehuehu hut to Mangaehuehu hut. My trip notes say 8.4 miles, 2,100 feet of elevation gain, with an initial climb from 4,100 to 5,000 feet in the first 1.3 miles, which drops steadily back down heading to mile 4, and then 3 mild undulations afterward to Mangaehuehu hut. Today also features a 3-kilometer road walk down the Ohakune Road, which should save us a little bit of time as well.
You got your sunblock on so they can burn?
Oh no, I'm brown, so I don't burn.
Started at 8:15 again this morning. Another beautiful morning. Incredible views to Ruapehu in the first steps of this track today. Lovely start. Much hotter at the start of today's hike than yesterday. I've got 74 degrees coupled with direct sunlight, so I'm already starting to sweat. We'll see how long that lasts. So we're starting the big climb of the day right out of the gate here. At one point we're going to go by a feature called the Cascades. It's supposed to be very beautiful, but there are a lot of warnings about doing it when it's wet. Fortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to have to worry about that. I think this is the spot where they warn you it's slippery when wet. No issues for us here today. This water is crystal clear. I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but it's like liquid glass with a slight blue tint. You can see the entirety of the Mangaehuehu Valley running down this way, all the way down to where camp was last night right here. So we're most of the way up the big climb at this point, and the classic 10 a.m. fog bank has rolled in. Temperatures dropped down to about 56 degrees. So it's feeling a lot more like yesterday now. Not really complaining. This is a little bit more pleasant for climbing. Track notes in the cabin said something about traversing a prominent ridge before getting to Ohakune Road. So I think that's what's next. So it looks like we made it over the big climb for the day, which means we should be sitting at about 5,000 feet. And yeah, I got 50:37 on my watch. So we're gonna head over to that road over there, and then we're gonna pretty much lose all the elevation that we gained on the road. So that's what's next. That's the climb up to the road right there. You can see it's squiggling up the up that ridge. So we're well into day 3 now, and we're all feeling pretty good. The sharp volcanic rock is making our feet a little sore, but legs are still feeling strong even after that big climb. And we've all been sleeping really well. I got another 7.5 hours last night, but I'm starting to feel that incurable hunger starting to set in. It's not full blown yet, but it's starting. You guys hanging in there?
Yeah, I feel way better today. When we first started out on the boardwalk out of the cabin, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I feel like I've been starting with sore legs, but then they warm up and feel fine afterward.
Yeah. Once we got into like the second half of the waterfall climb, like after we wet our hair, I was like, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cold. Pretty chilly. It's 2797 meters. for that whole time. It's about 2 months. This place seems cool. See the whole damn thing.
That's the kind of house I am. Oh, on the last day, it's okay. You can have something good.
Not the most scenic section, but that was probably the easiest 3Ks of the trip right there. And we've dropped out of the high altitude alpine region back down into a forested area. Nice change of scenery. Smooth graded track down here. That's nice. This appears to be the first of 3 minor undulations that we now have to cross before we get to Mangaehuehu Hut. Nothing like the climbs we did yesterday, just I think 200-300 feet each, something like that. I'm probably close to the top of the first one already. Heading down into valley number 2. There's a pretty crazy waterfall right behind us. I hope this track goes up to. I'd like to be able to see it. Waitonga Falls. Wow, huh? Amazing. Eric says there's a better view on the other side. Yeah. Oh yeah.
400.
An amazing spot for lunch, huh? I've never had backpacking food this good. It's so good. What an amazing spot. Yeah, that's really good too. Tough spot to leave. Perfect lunch spot. Ooh, bouncy. That's fun.
That's fun.
Well done, well done.
Oh, shoot. Wow, that was a weird bridge.
Almost tripped right away. Ooh. This one's so bouncy. Oh, jeez. That one was weird.
That one was scary.
That was a little spookier, huh?
I forgot to look at the view because I was scared.
We're up and over the last climb now. Just a short distance from here to Mangaehuehu hut, where we're staying the night. Hut in view. Are ya? .8 miles, 2,500 feet of elevation gain, 7 hours, 16 minutes. Another big day. So last night we stayed inside Mangaehuehu hut, and it was nice to be inside out of the rain when it was raining, but I think all of us prefer sleeping out in the tents. It's just a lot noisier when you're in a hut with a bunch of people, so we found this flat dirt patch about 100 feet from the hut. We're gonna set our tents up here. This will let them dry off a little bit too. Mine's still wet from the first night, so I never took it out last night. This pole allows my tent to be freestanding, so I can pick it up and find the best spot for it. That might work just like that, but when Eric and Stag get their tent up, then we can play Tetris a little bit. There. Nice. Gorgeous view here. One of the best so far, I'd say. Yet another amazing day today. We actually did more mileage today than yesterday, and we did it in a half hour less time. That's mainly because we had a lot of help. 3 kilometer road walk, not exactly scenic, but definitely easy to do. And then graded track through the forest after that, and some of the most beautiful boardwalks I've ever been on. All of that combined let us cover quite a bit more distance, quite a bit more quickly. Another absolutely incredible day though. Weather pretty similar to yesterday. Started out hot and sunny and then clouded over around 10 a.m. and it's pretty much been that way ever since. We avoided rain yet again, which is great. And it's been pretty cool. I think it hovered right around 60 degrees, give or take a couple degrees all day. This is like absolutely ideal hiking weather. And when I looked at the elevation map for today, I was looking at that big climb and I was thinking, oh man, 1,000 feet right from the get-go, that's going to be rough. But it ended up being just the most beautiful cascading waterfall that we were just climbing right up next to. And the result of that was, by the time we got to the top, we hadn't even realized that we'd climbed all that. We just were like, oh, we're at the road now? Okay. Oh, and the waterfall for lunch. It's one of the nicest waterfalls I've ever seen. It was like out of a movie. Stopping there for lunch was a good call. We made it to this hut a little after 3 p.m. I think somewhere between 3:15 and 3:30. There's already a few people here, so we've got our tent set up just below the hut. Beautiful view. At this point, we're pretty much due south of the mountain. And tomorrow, we're gonna head to Mangaehuehu hut, which is on the eastern side. And I'm really excited about that because over there is the only desert on the North Island of New Zealand. And it's supposed to be just really remote and kind of isolated feeling. And yeah, I've been looking forward to checking out that section ever since I was planning this trip. So tomorrow's going to be really cool.
Rangipo's at 5,000 feet.
Yeah, we're approximately 900 feet right now. I fucking think I know where we are. 1,600 feet means nothing.
Your food's ready, by the way.
Oh, yay! Stop talking to me.
With pleasure.